Dear beautiful and radiant viewers, welcome to the 31st episode of Art and Dharma, where we will talk about the connections or interplay between art and Dharma. My name is Victor Gabriel and I am a lecturer at Sakya Buddha University in Santa Ana, California. You can reach me through my email awake.star.sky@gmail.com. In episode 31, I would like to discuss the 35 Buddhas of repentance or confession, their iconography, their role in Buddhist cosmology, their devotional practices and significance. This episode and episode 32 are artwork associated with a particular meditation practice. There are a few styles in depicting this practice. In our artwork today, Buddha Sakya Muni is shown as the main Buddha figure, and from which his heart flows light and nectar rays which emanate these 35 Buddhas as well as other objects of refuge. Around Buddha Sakya Muni are Vajrasattva, Miktukpa, the Buddha Akshobhya with 4 faces, the Buddha Vairochana, and Unisha Vijaya or Namgyalma. These are followed by 5 rows of Buddhas, and finally the medicine Buddha and a row of offering goddesses or asparas presenting the offerings. Asparas are also shown on the side playing musical instruments. Asparas were featured in episode 5. This practice is based on the Sutra of the 3 Heaps, which is a Mahayana ritual text used for the purpose of confession of downfalls, which means transgressions against the precepts and Bodhisattva vows. The central object of worship is the 35 Buddhas, including Sakyamuni Buddha. The name of the sutra follows the 3 principal sections of the text. Number 1, homage. Number 2, confession. And 3, dedication. The practice of repentance or confession begins by considering the 4 opponent powers. The first opponent power is the power of regret. Purification is done by the means of these 4 powers. The first power is the power of regret for acting in a harmful way. This regret and not guilt is important, and it is also significant to differentiate between these 2. Regret has an element of wisdom. It notices our mistakes and regrets them. On the other hand, guilt makes a drama. Deep regret is essential to purify our negativities. Without it, we have no motivation to purify or move on. Thinking about the suffering effects of our action have on ourselves and others leads to regret. How our destructive actions have hurt us and others. They place negative karmic seeds in our mind streams, causing us to experience suffering in the future. The second power is the power of reliance or repairing the relationship. The power of reliance or the power of repairing the relationship is when we act negatively. Generally, the object is either holy beings or ordinary beings. To repair the relationship with holy beings, we begin by taking refuge in the three jewels. The relationship with holy beings that was damaged by our negative action and thought, and now we can repair it by generating faith and confidence in our spiritual mentors and the three jewels and take refuge in them. The way to repair relationships with ordinary beings is by generating bodhicitta and the wish to become fully enlightened Buddha in order to benefit them. It is possible to go to the people we have harmed and apologize them. But most important is to reconcile and repair broken relationships in our mind. Sometimes the other person may have moved, or we have lost touch with them, or they may not be ready to talk to us. In addition, we also purify negative actions created in previous lifetimes, and we have no idea who or where these people now are. In other words, we cannot go to them and apologize directly always. The third power is the power of resolve, the determination not to repeat the action. This is making a clear determination how we want to act in the future. It is good to pick a specific or realistic length of time and make the strong determination not to repeat this action. The power of remedial action. Here we do something that is positive. In the context of the practice, we recite the names of the 35 Buddhas and prostrate to them. Other purification practices include reciting the Vajrasattva mantra, making little Buddha figures, reciting sutras, meditating on emptiness, helping the publishing of Dharma materials, making offerings, and the remedial actions can also include doing community service, such as offering services to the hospice, to prison, and volunteer programs. Providing food for the homeless, for shelters, and for senior citizens. There are many types of remedial actions that we could do. The visualization that I am going to describe here follows the visualization given by the teacher, Venerable Thupten Chodron. Here there are 5 rows of Buddhas corresponding to the 5 Buddha families. In general, all the Buddhas in one row have the particular hand gesture and color of their Buddha family. The Buddha Sakya Muni is above, and from his heart come light beams that form these 5 rows. The top row has 7 light beams with 7 thrones at each end. And upon each throne is the Buddha. Each throne may be supported by elephants, as we have seen in previous episodes. Elephants here represent the powerful purification because elephants are mighty. Buddhas sit on the lotus, moon, and sun seat, symbolizing the 3 aspects of the path. The Buddha is in the color, golden in color. His left palm in his hand, holding an alms bowl, and his right palm on his right knee, down in the earth touching gesture. The text begins with an acknowledgement to the Buddha, the founder, the transcendental one, the one thus gone, the foe destroyer, the fully enlightened one, the glorious conqueror from the Sakyas, I bow down. In the first row, the beams of light form the 7 Buddhas. They resemble Akshobhya Buddha and are blue in color. The left hand is in the lap of the meditation posture. The right hand is in the earth-touching posture with the right palm facing down on the knee. The fourth one is the one thus gone, king over power of the Nagas, and is an exception. He has a blue body and a white face, and his hands are together at his heart. The next row is a row of Buddhas resembling Vairochana. They are white in color with both hands at the heart, their index finger extended. The row after that resemble Ratnasambhava, who is yellow in color, his left hand in meditative equipoise. The right hand rests on the right knee, palm facing outward in the giving gesture. In the next row, the Buddhas resemble Amitabha Buddha. They are red in color with both hands in their laps in meditative equipoise. In the fifth row are the 7 green Buddhas resembling Amoga Siddhi. The left hand is in the meditative equipoise and the right hand is bent at the elbow with the palm facing outward. This is the gesture of giving and protection. Do the visualization as best as we can. Don't expect it to have perfect. The most important thing is to feel that we are in the presence of these holy beings. As we say each name, we concentrate on that particular Buddha. Prostrating. Prostrations may be physical, verbal, and mental. We can do all of them. Physically, we can do short or long prostrations. When we do the purification with the 35 Buddhas, it is sometimes nice to do the long prostrations. If we have physical limitations, we can put our palms together at our hearts, and this is considered a physical prostration. Prostrations begin with touching our hands to our crown, forehead, throat, and heart. By first touching the crown of our head, on the Buddha statues, the Buddha has a small protuberance on his crown. It is one of the 32 major marks of an enlightened being. He received this due to his great accumulation of positive potential while he was on a Bodhisattva path. The reason we touch our crown is so that we too may accumulate that much potential to become a Buddha. Touching our forehead with our palms represents purifying physical negativities such as killing, stealing, and unwise sexual behavior. It represents the receiving the inspiration of the Buddha's physical faculties. Here we think of the physical qualities of the Buddha. We imagine white light from the Buddha's forehead coming into ours and thinking that the light performs these two functions, purifying the negativities we have created with our body and blessing us with the Buddha's physical capabilities. We feel inspired by the emanation body of the Buddha. Next, we touch our throat and we imagine red light coming from the Buddha's throat into ours. This purifies our verbal negativities such as lying, divisive speech, harsh words, and idle gossip, and represents and inspires us that we can gain the Buddha's verbal qualities. These include the 60 qualities of the Buddha's enlightened speech. We can also think of the qualities of the Buddha's enjoyment body. Next, we imagine deep blue light coming from the Buddha's heart into ours. This purifies all mental negativities such as covetousness, maliciousness, and wrong views. It also inspires us with the qualities of the Buddha's minds, such as the 18 unique qualities of an enlightened being, the 10 powers, the 4 fearlessness, and so on. Verbal prostration is saying the names of the Buddha with respect. Mental prostration is having deep respect, faith, and confidence in the three jewels and their ability to guide us. Mental prostration also includes doing the imagination or visualization with the lights coming to purify and bless us. While we are prostrating, we may think of specific things we want to purify. This will help us to be more aware and conscious in our life and to reflect on what we have done. It is also good to think that we are purifying all actions in a broad general category because we want to purify what we have done in our previous lives. We want to purify the whole negative karma, although we want to focus on those actions that really weigh heavy on them and thinking of them specifically when we do it. Today, we have talked about the 35 Buddhas of repentance or confession, their iconography, their role in Buddhist cosmology, their devotional practices and significance. If you like this episode, please write to me at awake.star.sky@gmail.com. Tell me what you like, what you enjoy, and what you would like to see more of. You can also submit artwork that you want me to comment about. Thank you.